Frisky Fox, the man himself, came on the show Friday. It was phenomenal. Couldn't believe it. I'm so humbled that he even took the time to come. And I'm all the more convinced. I feel like vindicated by what he shared with us, which was what I've felt all along. Okay, so what are my takeaways from Frisky Fox coming on the show? Also want to talk liquidity and Rock808, baby. I got on his show right after that with Frisky Fox on Friday for like 2 or 3 hours. And then today as well. And he's just such a gem in the space. We're going to talk about different things. Jordy, Starbuck, I love you guys. Okay, so some important things I want to talk to you guys about. Shady Grady, right here at your service in the flesh. Come take a gamble with Shady Grady. Okay, I love this. So, Frisky, first of all, should be looked at as a hero in the crypto space. Absolutely. Of all devs, of all heroes, he is just the bomb. And instead, he's been very much looked at skeptically as a potential rug puller and all these different things. I don't think it could be any further from the truth. Is what I felt all along. I could still be wrong. It's not like I know him personally. So first of all, he's not even getting paid yet. He's getting paid in locked Jewel, I guess, which is going to become locked Crystal and Jade, their new token, which is awesome. And he's the last one on the team. Okay, so he's taken the hit first. So my takeaway this whole time is that he's not just in it for the money. He's looking at the best interest of the community and the project. That's always how he's been. Always. So even when he talked about, doing the vote to have him step down potentially, it's all because he was like falling on his own sword. He thought he was maybe having a heart attack. The amount of stress that he's been through and hell he's been through, just it all the more shows like they're just human beings. The fact that they're still grinding through everything they've been through. They're still grinding, developing, making partnerships, doing all kinds of stuff at really high speeds is phenomenal. So I haven't hardly been able to function as different things have happened lately in my life. It just sets you back. Usually it gets people discouraged, okay, mentally. So headspace is so important for any leader in any job, anything they're doing. Josias, man, love you. Are you into DeFi Kingdoms? Good to see you. Rock is in the house. Okay. Josias Renaud, love you, man. Good to see you. DeFi Kingdoms is mostly, I love it. Okay. So Frisky, some of my other takeaways. Big takeaway that I had, it just kind of hit me the more I thought about it. His hang up with bots all along has mostly been, I think, because it's not computing in his brain where he doesn't want to make this big advantage. He doesn't want to give a big advantage to players with bots, which they already have. So like, here's where a disconnect has come in his brain, and it's kind of caused him where he like doesn't know what to do yet. So they're slow at making decisions. I love it. But it's something in him doesn't feel right about promoting bots and giving players that aren't using bots, putting them at such a disadvantage for one. And so, but then what like causes him to be like in this no man land, in this zone of he doesn't know what to do, because he doesn't just like want to disallow bots either. So it puts him in this weird place. Oh, we got Levi. Oh man, look out. Levi in the house. I love you guys. Sir Jewel. No, you haven't missed much, but just rewind and listen at 1.5x speed or something and you'll catch right up because just started. Okay, so I love you guys, man. So he's not getting paid. He almost had a heart attack. Put that whole scenario into a different perspective. I couldn't remember. Maybe he did already say that, where he went to the ER when all that was going down. And I would have probably been such a wreck if I were in his shoes. It would have been hard to function. Like, so, okay. Here's some more takeaways. His buddy, this liquidity issue that was a big part of this whole FUD that absolutely was complete nonsense FUD that caused a huge percentage of the DFK community to leave DeFi Kingdoms altogether. Okay, all the FUD. So it's all nonsense. It's all nonsense. He just forgot to update the white paper with the right address. That was his buddy's. His buddy was actually, and I didn't even know this, going by the same rules that the team goes by. So when he claims the jewel, okay, first of all, he agreed that would be stuck in there forever. The 15 grand, you know, that liquidity is always going to be there. So that was agreed upon. Every time he claims the jewel, he cannot just go cash it all out right away. He has to, he wasn't allowed to do that. He had to follow the same rules as the whole team follows on the jewel. And so he couldn't just dump it all at once. He could only dump it in little tiny percentages. Raph, what's up? Raph Neindorf, maybe in the house. I love you guys. Oh my gosh. So it was such FUD. Okay. And then on top of that, he did actually give all the locked jewel to the team. So the team owns a huge percent of the locked jewel. They already did, but on top with that, okay, that was like the largest amount of locked jewel from any one wallet was that. Okay, he gave all that up. The buddy did. The buddy, whoever this guy is sounds like the bomb. Good guy. And he was concerned about possible regulation, okay, and how that's going to shake out. So he had it in his mind that he wanted to have someone from another country provide the liquidity. Makes sense, especially with their mindset that they were in at the time. Totally phenomenal. The whole interview. His buddy did, and another thing with his buddy, he wasn't even selling. He was compounding it back in. A lot of it. Now he did more, way more, get the money that he put in back out. Okay. And probably to the tune, if I had to guess, of even millions of dollars. Okay. But a lot of it was just compounded back into the pool, which isn't that interesting. Okay. So early on, at least, because he didn't even have the capability to cash it back out. That's all awesome stuff. So with all that locked jewel, the team, and I said it in the video, they took one for the community. They could have let all the unlocking of all the jewel just continue to happen and dump on the market potentially. Okay. But instead they came out with a proposal that we all passed, and the team was accused that they were doing this for their own personal benefit. No, they weren't, because they forfeited essentially all that locked jewel into locked crystal and locked jade. Is essentially what's replacing jewel, is crystal and jade replacing jewel, and which aren't going to be, currently crystal's worth more, but in the long run, jewel's the better token to own. So I look at it as they just kind of took one for the team. I love it. Phenomenal. Another little bit he dropped. This is again reckless speculation, as Raph Adventures in DFK says. He is hoping for PvP combat by Q1. Again, he made it clear, don't write that in stone. We don't know. And anyone that would write that in stone, the fact that they have to be like that, the fact that the team has to be all super careful now about when they're, doing a roadmap and when they're hoping to put stuff out, is because people in the community bitch at them. Like, you said this would be out. Where's it at? Some loser on Twitter was like, stop talking and start developing. Like, go jump in a lake, people. Like, people have nothing else better to do than to go on and spread their low negative energy on social media. It's the world we live in. I don't even get it. If I think something's a scam, I don't even know what's going on with it. Like, I don't pay attention to it. I don't go on their Twitter and follow them and tweet against them and stuff. I mean, I guess if I got scammed by them or something, but not even a scam. If I think a project isn't doing very well, I don't go public and talk about it. Like, why would people do that? Human beings. Okay. So Frisky is the man. So if they didn't take so much flack for like missing their deadlines on the roadmap, they would probably be more likely to share their goals about when things are going to come out and dates. So that's my point of saying all that. Okay. Okay. So Levi, man, I totally forgot to go to Amber's birthday party 2 nights ago. It's killing me. I need to text her. I meant to text her today. Oh, that killed me. My heart sank, Levi, to my stomach. I spent all weekend with the kids and just had a lot of things going. So that was awesome. So adding more stuff. They're hoping for combat by Q1. Hoping. And Rock and I got in a little debate, about that. It wasn't much of a debate. I know, Jordy, there's always going to be complainers. Yeah, Jewel could skyrocket to $100 and people will still find something to complain about. Misery loves company. So true, man. Okay, so this whole it's not FUD if it's true that I've heard from so many people. It's not FUD if it's true. How many people have we heard that from? Well, guess what? It was 100% false. It wasn't true at all. All the nonsense about Frisky Fox, false. So that's why we're in the project, because the team's awesome. That's why we're here, because we believe in the project and the team. As far as core values, looking out for the best interests of others, even over their own best interests. They're following the golden rule. They're hard at work. They're developing. They're doing their best. They're human beings. Okay. So also the financial situation. That's a common one that I hear a lot, and I haven't really been worried about it. I'm not worried. Like Frisky basically said, look, we have a protocol that does like more transactions than like the entire Avalanche blockchain, or maybe like Ethereum. How many transactions per day does the Ethereum blockchain do? I don't even know. I don't know. Someone knows that. Yeah, Worm 369, Sir Worm, baby. I love you guys. Starbuck. So another thing I keep forgetting to give a shout out to, is the mythic squad that Starbuck and Mosh and Justice Beaver, baby. They're starting. They're really serious. They're wanting to start. I think they're starting their own YouTube channel. Like he's been setting up all this stuff. He's got a lot. They've got a lot coming, and I'm going to have them on. Going to have Starbuck. I'm going to have those guys on again. Justice Beaver and Mosh. Going to have them on the channel. So we're going to talk about all the stuff they're doing. I love it. Also, Rock808. That's coming right around the corner here on this video. Okay. Big, should I say announcement that I want to throw out there to you guys and see what you think. Okay. So in his holdup with the bots, I think the biggest thing is in his brain, he's like, it's giving an unfair advantage. So he's trying to figure out a solution to the unfair advantage that people that don't have bots have. Like, I think, and it's just caused them to, it's like, paralysis through analysis is what's happened with that whole situation. That's kind of my takeaway. And if you understand the way he thinks, it's just held him up on the whole thing. Totally held him up. Grind. Yes, Starbuck is grinding. They're doing big things for DFK. They are my people. I love you guys. The Mythic Squad. Yes. Make sure you follow them on Twitter if you haven't. All these guys, good stuff going. Okay. So a big thing too. I was just on Rock808's channel. Liquidity. I want to cover this thing before maybe kind of an announcement. It's not really an announcement, but sort of maybe an announcement. I want feedback about this. Okay. So Liquidity Updates. I was just on Rock's channel, and I've been on his channel for like hours here, like on Friday and today. Okay. So we were talking liquidity. Back when I was doing all my liquidity on Serendale, by far, basically everything was only paired with Jewel. Okay. So you had one coin where everything was paired with. The eggs, the milkweed, all the stuff was just paired with Jewel. And that was pretty much, we just had one coin that all the items were paired with, Jewel. Okay, now things have changed. And we have gold, crystal, and Jewel that all these items are paired with. And every time you do a trade, it's only hitting one of those three pools. So even if you have gold and you want to buy milkweed with gold, okay, it might not necessarily, when you trade, depending on how much you're doing. Now there is a lot more volume to where you can even buy, as we just saw on the video, you can even buy the milkweed with gold, and it will benefit the gold milkweed liquidity pair. Okay, so that's good. That is, so there's plenty of liquidity in all three of the Jewel milkweed pool, the crystal milkweed pool, and the gold milkweed pool. Plenty of liquidity in all those. But guess what that means? Because in Serendale, there wasn't gold milkweed like pool. And if maybe a little bit, but the trades weren't happening in that pool. They were all happening with Jewel for the most part. Very, if any, liquidity with gold on anything in Serendale, from what I remember. Okay, because I do remember looking at it. So what that means is now that there's sufficient liquidity, even with the gold milkweed pool and with the crystal milkweed pool and with the Jewel milkweed pool, that means every time you're buying or selling milkweed, it's hitting one of those three pools instead of all going to the same pool. And back then, there wasn't even that much liquidity anyways for anything. So there's now been way more liquidity since I've done these videos. So as I thought about this really literally live on Rock808's show, is I think the move is liquidity is awesome. We should all be providing it. But the move is to be doing liquidity with gold. If you want to be holding gold long term and you want to be holding these items long term to feed our pets, doing different things, which I think we'll be real happy when we have a bunch of items when Profession 10 level questing happens and we have to feed our pets with the items. Okay, the items are going to pop. So you can either choose to just hold your items. You can provide liquidity with the items. But if you provide liquidity with crystal or Jewel, okay, it's probably not going to hit as hard. So my thought is what's best probably is instead of tying up your Jewel and crystal with items and liquidity, you're better off just putting that into the gardens and get that interest, because you're getting those trades in the interest in crystal. Okay. And then to do the liquidity in gold, it just makes the most sense for gold to become the dominant liquidity pair over crystal and Jewel. Just thoughts though, just thoughts. So if you got a bunch of extra Jewel that you bought because it's so down, which I maybe should go dollar cost average a little bit more. We've been seeing crystal dump a little bit, okay? And Jewel has come up just a hair, and we'll probably see crystal, like when the day that Serendale 2.0 comes out, I could see kind of a bit of a flash crash with crystal. That'll probably be a good time to buy. Okay. So up until then, though, we still just need the crystal. So I don't know what to think. Like if you get out now, you've kind of already missed the top. It's not down that much, but it's gone from like 27 cents to what, 24 cents? It was almost even at 28 cents. Now it's at 24 cents. Okay. And Juul's still like, it's almost hit 16 cents today, I think. So it just makes the most sense. You obviously can put your Juul or crystal in with the pairs, but I don't think those are hitting as hard. Because you're just getting less volume of trading because it's now split up into 3 different pools with gold or Juul or crystal. So what I would do is if you want to have liquidity, you do gold with either Juul or crystal, because those are both going to be big pools. And then that's the only thing you have Juul and crystal paired up with in liquidity. All the items paired up with gold. That's my thoughts. And then put your Juul and crystal. We're going to want Juul. First of all, we're going to want to put Juul in the jeweler big time. I think I'm pumped. So that's why I want to stack up a bag of Juul now to have to put into the jeweler when that comes out with the new S Juul and C Juul and get those bennies, baby. Okay. And then have stuff in the gardens earning crystal every day. That's my thoughts there. Okay. That's sort of an update. So I've had a few questions here. Jordy, Grady, what levels are you taking profits back on Juul? I haven't been taking much profits on anything right now. And it's good to have a game plan when to start taking profits. So much depends on so many different factors. So if we're in a setting where, for example, things like dark summoning is coming, which I wanted to hit to. I had several more questions that I wanted to hit with Frisky Fox that I didn't get to, dang it. But it's okay. It was such a phenomenal interview. So let's say something like dark summoning is coming. Or another thing that's coming is this summoning. They're going to give out all the Gen Zeros again. All the Gen Zeros are going to be given out to people who summon for the new classes of heroes that are coming. Okay, so there's going to be more raffles. It's probably going to be kind of expensive summoning. So just plan on it being more expensive summoning. But I want to get in those raffles, baby, and win a Gen Zero. I still haven't won one. And so I might as well save the summoning, save some to summon. I'm going to be buying a bunch of Jade, of course, right when it comes out. And hoping it doesn't, I'm not like buying at the top, which could happen. So we saw what happened with Crystal. It came in, and right at first, it was reasonably priced. Then it literally mooned to like $45 or $50. I don't know. The day it came out, Crystal hit. No. Here's what happened. The day when they said the raffles will be, is based off your locked crystal, that's when Crystal mooned. And it was all right at the beginning. So the raffles, the Gen Zero giveaways, a lot of them were going to come from the how much crystal you had locked up. And so people were trying to buy up a bunch of crystal to have an average daily balance of X crystal. And so we saw crystal go all the way up to $50 freaking dollars. And then it quickly crashed back down to $35. And the smart ones were selling. I was dollar cost averaging in because I was brand new in, and I was wanting to get the Gen Zero. So to me, I was like, gonna get the Gen Zero. Like I'm gonna buy a shit ton and get a Gen Zero and give myself the chances. But then it just turned out to where if I would have waited, man, I could have bought a lot more crystal. Now I would have had a lesser average daily balance, but I would have had way more crystal, which would have given me a higher average daily balance anyways. So that's why I'm not quite sure what's going to happen with Jade. And especially how quick will there be parity in Serendale 2.0? Like Will it just all go live? And I think from what Nindorf said, that's probably going to be the case. Too much financial advice here. I love it. Hey, Levi on this chat is your financial advisor, but he can't sell you anything crypto. So, I mean, when someone says consult your financial advisor, like, what do they know about crypto? Okay. Okay. So there's so many more things I want to talk about here, but let me try and keep up with these comments. J-Dub in the house. I love it. Potatoes. We got Zabu in the house. Okay. So when am I taking profits? It's good to have a game plan. I'm going to try to, I'm going to have to eventually. So I love it. Kevin. Okay. We're all shady. I'm Grady. We're all Grady. I still have people saying that all the time. I am shady. We're all shady. Love it. Mike Brown. How's it going? Okay. So I don't have any XJewel, and I'm not in the Jewel XJewel pool, even though that's not a bad move right now because I'm trying to stock up my Jewel. Actually, it's just been sitting there. It's like, man, you could be making 19.5% interest or something right now is what it's paying out in the gardens. Or you could get into the Jewel USDC pool. You can get Jewel Bitcoin, get into those different pools and get a lot more interest. That's the only reason why I'm not in the Jewel XJewel pool. I'm too much of a degen maybe, but I might go into it like tonight. I still need to shuffle things around. I'm shuffling my account around, still trying to figure things out, what I'm going to do with all my heroes. And forgive me also, all of you that have, like, I have so many messages right now of people that are trying to do trades with me, with heroes, or trying to different things that I'm open to, totally open to. I'm like 10 behind. That Gen Zero, that mythic Seer Gen Zero is still available for 20,000 crystal. That is such a deal. And the guy said he would let me throw in some heroes and trade some to lower the price, to like negotiate. But he still could only lower it 3,500 crystal, something like that, off the 20,000. And I was going to try and do that. I just got to get to it. And he just wants floor heroes, but he's open to anything. But he wants to have like an army of floor heroes. He's good with that. But he needs at least, like 16,000 crystal because he needs the money for whatever reason. He's getting kind of desperate to sell that thing. And I can't believe it hasn't sold. I know the brown gent I thought would have gone to buy it, but then he said it's not for sale anymore. I thought it sold. Okay. So there's the answer to that. Mike Brown, Zill. I'm in the process of selling all my fishers and foragers because I'm annoyed I am not running quests with them efficiently. I feel like I'm not maxing out their potential output. Well, okay. Yeah. So Zill, the thing is though, they quest more often. So when you send a gardener gardening, yes, they are recharging as they're questing, sort of, but in the end, okay, they are not questing as often. And so those items might change real fast. So what are we going to need those new foraging and fishing items for that aren't currently being used for anything? What are we going to use those for? I'm guessing the day will come when like the three-eyed eel and all that stuff will give our pets an extra boost or something. And then everyone's going to want foragers and fishers is my guess. So yes, at the moment, there's no Swift Thistle and Shimmer Skin. Last I checked, Adventures in DFK. I live on that thing. Last I checked, those were like Shimmer Skin had come all the way back down. Like that thing has crashed. And it's all the way back down to where it was in the vendor. Like wowzers. Here, I can just look right here. Okay. You guys can't see my screen. Maybe I should share it. But I just wanted to look at where. So because we have the stone carver coming out. So what happens when that happens? We're not working. Continue. We're not working. Refresh. Okay. Refresh. Okay. Should be working. Okay. Real quick on Adventures in DFK. Market data is so amazing. So when we look at the items, we're probably, like we just shared, we're going to see right now is the time to buy gold. It's already up today because the stone carver is probably out by now. Right now, I bet the stone carver's out. It's already up 4% since I last looked, or 5%. It's probably going to go up another 10, 15, 20, 25% when the stone carver comes out after it's been gone. That's when all these items pop. That's when we want to be selling the items. That's when we want to be potentially buying the stones, the lesser stones. That's where Adventures in DFK, the market data, comes through like a dream, baby. Okay. And so gold is still down a good 25% than it compared to where it was 7 days ago when the stone carver went out. The stone carver's been gone for 7 days. When he comes back, everyone's crafting stones. They need the gold. Lots of gold gets bought up. All the items get bought up. Okay. So, but you want to give it a little time. Give it a little bit of time for when the stone carver's out and lots of that stuff is being needed. Okay. And the price goes up. That's kind of always how it goes. Okay. We just talked about all this stuff on Rock808 show. By the way, Rock is such a gem. I wanted to ask you guys what your thoughts were. So here is where Rock is such a really, really potentially valuable person in this whole DFK community, is because of his consistency. I know most people cannot watch all his shows. So he literally streams religiously every single day for 6 hours a day, talking nothing but DeFi kingdoms. That's nuts to me. And he does it faithfully every day. Okay. He thinks like he is like a developer, like a programmer, but he said he hasn't done it in a while, but he wants to kind of brush up on those skills and even have a channel on that. Okay. Here's what the more he does this, he's quickly going to become a DFK encyclopedia where he'll be on like Mr. Zipper level and Dissy level, which that's another guild, by the way, is Perilous Pirates or whatever that I'm a part of. That one's a private one. Okay. With Mr. Zipper and some of those guys. They're just phenomenal resources. It's like they almost know everything there is to know just about the game. So in everything that like has ever been said, they're like a walking DFK encyclopedia. That's where Rock comes into play. He's really learning, like every day he learns new things. Okay. And he's putting it out there for free to the community, just being helpful. Okay. And the more we have people like that and actually caring about the community, trying to help, is big. Now, the problem is most people don't have time to watch 6 hours of streaming per day, but he's got the right heart. His heart's in the right place. His core values, as far as the community comes before money in his own pocket, and he'll never compromise that. Like, is unequivocally the case if you get to know Rock. It doesn't take long to realize that. So sorry, I get distracted by the comments. I'll try to catch up with the comments. Okay. So it's funny, I've been talking so much with Rock lately. Okay. And Rock also, he's just not afraid to disagree. He's not afraid, and he does it in a non-confrontational, combative way. He's just cool, and he welcomes disagreement. and a discussion about it. Okay. And he's open-minded. So all these are like core values that I'm just like, I love. So I don't care about how much stuff I disagree with him about. I just know we're going to be cool. We can disagree and be cool. He's not weird about it. He's not overly contentious, but he will just share with you, like, I disagree with that. Like, he's comfortable in his own skin. He just has a good flavor to him when it comes to the space. And as we've talked, it just kind of naturally happened. Like, hey, should we combine forces? Rock and I, because like our strengths and weaknesses can really help out one another here. His consistency and stability is what I need. Okay. So, and we talked about different things, like especially at first in a super no strings attached, not, low key way, we could kind of come together to where we could do different things. We could create a whole new channel, where it's like us together, but that maybe down the road. What I told him he could do is he could just come on my channel every day for 10 minutes and do a news DeFi Kingdom. I love how he does the DeFi Kingdom's news updates, and just do a 5 or 10 minute video every single day at the same time every day, and talk about all the things going on in DeFi Kingdoms and look at all the discords. He kind of combed through all the different discords, and it's short and sweet. And that way you get updates of anything happening in DeFi Kingdoms, anything that's going on, period, anything. Intergrove is doing a video tomorrow at this time, and just have a 5 to 15 minute video at the same time every day. And maybe I'm on it or not. Probably I'll be on it, especially at first, every time. But but just even kind of be able to hand that ball off to him. So that would be super beneficial to my channel. So it's a big win for me because of the consistency, and it's just nice. And lots of people will tune into that on a regular basis if it's short and sweet. It'll help his channel because it'll just help bring more traffic to his channel. He'll have the floor essentially to promote his channel. So, and he's going to do it potentially if we do this. We just talked about it today. Okay. But he could then stop that stream and do it live every day as well. Stop that stream and answer a couple questions, stop, and then start his own stream on his own channel. Because I was telling him he loves to do his 3-hour streams, and I love that. And people like it. Okay. And it's nice. There are people that are traveling a lot, different things, and they can just play it and doing different things at work or something. They can play it in the background. That's great. Okay. They can actually listen to that. But I'm like, look, Rock, if you had shorter videos, like, you'll get a lot more viewership potentially. And that's what everyone tells me as well. I mean, so this is already 38 minutes. Crazy. I wanted this to be a short video. Okay. So what do you guys think about that? And then also maybe every day where we get on together at a different time and do like a 30-minute talk DeFi Kingdoms, all things DeFi Kingdoms, like we do already. And also when I jump on his channel, which I do, I should probably tweet it. So if you guys follow me on Twitter, be sure to get the notifications. I'm real careful to ever tweet anymore. I won't overwhelm you with a zillion notifications. Okay. So I generally tweet every time I go live. And if something is really like that, I think you should see. I try to avoid conversations where everyone getting all these notifications all the time on my Twitter. So, because that just all the notifications I get are so overwhelming. It's so crazy. So I've had to turn a lot of these off. Okay. So tell me your guys' thoughts on that. We can start real low key. We have great discussions on there, and he's learning more and more. I'd give it, with this type of consistency of him doing this, he just gets nuggets all the time from hobnobbing with so many. Even if he only has a few viewers on his videos, he'll be talking with Zabu or, a lot of different people, Lucky Duck and all, whoever goes on his videos. And he's just learning. He's drinking through a fire hose, and he's getting to where he'll become the kind of go-to guru of this game with putting that kind of time in. Just it's going to get to the point where he just knows and he documents everything. He's so Johnny on it. So that's all my weaknesses. Okay. So that's where I can help promote, give energy to him and his channel. And so that's where it's a win-win for both of us combined. It's just our core values fit. I could see us kind of teaming up. And I always like to let it happen. And that's already kind of what's happened and it's such a phenomenal community, really. The core values align with all these guys, with Raph and Neindorf, with Sergeant Filthy McNasty, with Bogside Chats and those guys, with Sandwich Punch and Inner Grove. I really have nothing bad to say about anything. But I know there has been some toxic stuff that would very much not align with the core values, such as, like in my case, I just decided to always give the alpha. So I'm never going to hold back alpha, even if I'm shooting myself in the foot. Like when I was showing everyone the R of opportunities and liquidity on the Adventures in DFK site, notice ever since the day I did that, literally the day I did that, you hardly ever see those type of opportunities anymore. So I could have been all secretive about that information and not include you guys in, but it's not good for the ecosystem's long-term stability when you have an ecosystem full of a bunch of people with secrets in the game of advantages they have over others. So that's kind of like a big core value for me, that I'm always going to give the alpha. So, and I'm sure there'll come a time when someone gives me alpha and they ask me to keep it confidential. I don't know what I'll do then. Because I'll probably respect that if someone specifically gave me the alpha. I don't know. That's a different story though. Okay. But I probably will just tell them right then and there, don't tell me alpha if you don't want it shared with the community in that scenario. So things like that. Okay. I was supposed to ask about PvP and I did. You mean Frisky? And the points allocation. Oh, right. That was right here on my list. But what he would have probably said as far as how to best level our heroes for PvP is I need to get Hubert on the channel. That's my next goal, baby. Because I bet Frisky would say, talk to Hubert and Workhorse. I've already talked to Workhorse about coming on too. He said maybe next month. Pumped. Okay. And you know what? He might have said that a few weeks ago. Maybe. I want to say he said for November, but maybe it was even October. No, I think it was November when Workhorse said he might be open to come on the channel. Okay. Can't wait to get him on. And oh, baby, we'll be talking about that hard. But that was still written down as one of my questions for Frisky as well, just to throw it out there. Okay. Okay, Zill doesn't trust botting. That's cool. I understand that. And hopefully they come out. Like I thought that was a brilliant idea about the S-Jewel, C-Jewel coming out. And that might give access to an in-game botting-ish service or something that's maybe more of a basic thing. But maybe. That was a maybe. Big maybe. Okay. What's the opportunity cost of harvesting from gardens versus leaving rewards in for longer? Okay. I think if you leave it in for longer, you can, first of all, you get more unlocked when you finally unlock it, because every week the percentage amount in the gardens that unlock goes down slightly. Okay. And then I think it's every week or every month or something like that. And then also there's something built into the algorithm where the longer you go without claiming, the more you're going to get. But I don't think it's as much as claiming and then compounding back into the gardens. If you're going to go that route, you're probably better compounding back in, would be my guess. Not for sure about that. Okay. If anyone else has thoughts on that, shout out. So I love how Rock is very cool with disagreeing with me. That's another thing I actually like, because if I were to team up with a guy, first of all, he's in a lot of ways opposite of who I am. Okay. Because he's your steady Freddy, stable kind of guy and consistent. And he'll have good follow through, things like that. Whereas I'm your quick start, let's go change the world, blaze your own trail kind of guy. So it's just a good fit as far as having an opposite type guy. So when he disagrees, we disagree well. So because we can talk about it and we can smack each other around a little bit, our feelings don't get hurt. He's just cool like that. And that takes, I don't know how old he is, but that takes time to learn how to just be cool and not like worry about your ego if someone disagrees with you, or like people don't. It takes time to get that and to be able to discuss things and talk it out and not be too easily offended, things like that. So I appreciate that about him. Ape in, baby, in the jewel. Yeah, I love it. Okay. Would be good to get over that fear with research, even if you still decide you have knowledge of OpenSea. Okay. Potato. Yeah. Zabu. So I agree. Zill, the bots have been a game changer, but that's totally okay. If you're not comfortable with it, you never know. Like Carlo might come out and we might find out he's a big scammer guy. You just never know. I really don't think that's the case. And I think that's a low risk one. I also really, really believe in all the other ones, really. So I love Diffkey. I love this new DFK helper. I think they're all phenomenal. I don't know of a bad one out there, honestly. Okay. So yeah. But if you just want the DFK bot built botting mechanism, that's understandable. Like, you just never know what can happen. I don't think there's an adverse impact, no, of just harvesting gardens daily. You're fine doing that. A lot of people do. Okay. I got a lawsuit for you, Levi. From Fishy Foods. Which one was Fishy Foods again? Was that Eric? Yeah, Eric, I think. I love it. Yes, that background music is meant to hypnotize you and to become a DeFi Kingdoms junkie, Levi. You will own DeFi Kingdoms Heroes NFTs before you know it, and you will be in the gardens getting interest in DeFi. The day will come when we convert Levi and make him into a crypto, secretly, very secretly make him into a crypto guy, because he'll freak out and say he's going to lose his license. Okay. It's already coming, I bet. All right. Okay. Yes. It's for a Zen. Okay. Love you, Rock. Love you, man. Okay. The farmer's chant. Okay. I got to run as well. Okay. I got about 2 or 3 king princes. Okay. Per quest session. So like 6 to 9 a day. That's really good, I would say. I mean, that's just as good as a gold miner, right? Fish. That's better even. Right? No, do you mean for like 6 per 6 heroes? If you have 6 guys questing and you get 6 to 9 king pincers, but you're also getting all the other stuff too. Yeah, I would hang on. I agree. Hang on to the fishers and foragers, man. I know they're not as profitable as they were, but the things change fast in this game. As soon as you have to follow the nuanced things, and you don't want to be behind the 8 ball when things pop. So all of a sudden, some announcement comes out or some new thing comes out, and all of a sudden, we see things go way up in value. That's what we've seen with milkweed, with swift thistle, with shimmer skin for a while, but it's all the way back down. With different things happen. We see gold go all over the place. So you don't want to be behind the 8 ball when all of a sudden everyone's going to want a fisher and forager, because right now it's hard to sell the heroes. I keep noticing. So, and it's even hard to rent out the summons, I've noticed. So if anything, now's the time to buy the heroes, not sell. Doing these ARB opportunities, like right now, right? He's out. Stonecarver's got to be out by now, right? Let's see. I'll change up the music for you here, Levi. I could share my screen. Yeah, Stonecarver's out for 1 day and 16 hours. So I'm trying to fully wrap my mind around its consistency of like when it was just gone for 7 days. Okay, we're gonna start seeing gold pop probably, and we've already seen it go up about 5% today, just as soon as the guy hit. Okay, now it's come back down like 1%. So someone dumped some gold. Give it some time as people are crafting stones if they need it. Now, some of these cycles, people may have already crafted a shit ton of stones like I did, and they might need to wait. Like they might not need them this time around. Like I don't need any stones right now. So if anything, I might be looking at the market data here at the carving receipts page on Adventures in DFK. Okay, look at this. You see all the stones now have literally perfect parity with the craft cost. The cost of all the items to craft a stone versus what the stone is on the market. They're all at parity. In fact, some of them are below. The lesser finesse stone is still a little bit below. So you're actually better off to go buy the thing than you are to craft it. Okay? Same right now with the swiftness stone. So now, instead of like spending all the effort crafting those, just go buy them. And then when they pop, you can sell them. And it literally happens every cycle. Now, some cycles are a little different than next, like of the Stonecarver cycles. Okay. I need to get off. Yeah, 3 ideals. I think Starbuck will become really valuable. Yeah, Zill, Mini would with an official release. I almost liquidated heroes at a loss. And the thought makes me sick. You are dumping in Tavern. Okay, yeah. I mean, it's just hard to be selling a whole bunch of heroes right now. So heroes are really, really down, I would say. So there's going to be some kind of a perilous journey type thing that's going to come. That will help. But right now we have somewhere around, 350,000 heroes or less. I think it's still less than that. But around 350,000 heroes. Imagine when this game gets back to 100,000 people wanting to buy heroes. So we're going to see heroes, especially with more things coming around the corner, like a perilous journey type thing and the dark summoning. Okay, that's going to burn heroes out of existence. But when we get in-game adoption, so if you're in the game, this should be your mindset. Okay, you're not in here to make a quick daily buck. Like I was doing, how much money am I making per hero per day questing? Okay, I did a video on that. But every video I would say, now's not the time to be selling. You're not in this to try and make a buck. Okay, you're in this with at least a 6 month to a year outlook before you're planning on taking profits, if you ask me. Like if you want to see real profits and real return. Now, at some point, we're going to have to just put in so much money into this and into all the heroes. So either, in my mind, I'm going to lose it all and this game's going to fail, or I'm going to make a shit ton of money. I mean, that's just my approach. So it's either going to fail, and if you think it might fail, just get out now and lick your wounds. Okay? And if you want to hedge against that risk, though, you could sell some and take some off the table just to hedge against the potential of it all going to zero. Like if the Synapse bridge gets hacked. And so he said in the Synapse, if you go back and listen to that, he said the amount of throughputs, or is that, yeah, that was the word he used. Like it has, he, from his developer mind, was talking about the low chances of Synapse bridge being hacked. And he said it will become the model for all bridges. So he's looked into he's looked under the hood of Synapse on the development side. And Dreamer, I remember he did say, do your own research, blah, 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 blah. But I can just tell they feel so good about Synapse that they call them partners. So you never know. That's like one of the biggest risks is hacking, okay, or just you personally getting hacked like Ogre. You got to be really careful. That's why Zill doesn't want to even mess with it. Doesn't even want to have the potential chance. That's fair. That's fine. But Zill, you don't want to be thinking short term, is my point. So if this game succeeds, like it, even on a conservative downside, let's say PvP comes out and it's pretty good. You know, let's just say it's kind of fun to play. It's okay. And like the final product that comes out, now it'll probably come out stair-stepped in. We'll get little bits of it at the time. It won't be like the full final finished version right off the bat. Won't be that. But okay. Let's just say an average version of the game. It's still fun to play. It's good. So let's just say it's a moderate success. Okay, we're going to see things skyrocket. Straight up. Let alone as if it comes out and it's brilliant and phenomenal. Now we know that 3D stuff could come out, but that'll be years. This is going to come, they announced in the last announcement, it's going to be a turnstile game. So kind of like Fight Club, really. It'll be kind of like a Fight Club, but way more in depth, and it'll be like built into the game. Okay, it won't be a Discord thing, but it'll be like a strategy turn-based type game that hopefully, is fun and, there's incentive to do it. Then on top of that, you'll have the profession questing, profession 10 level questing and PvE. Okay, that is a whole nother thing that could be really awesome. And with lands and guilds, if all this stuff happens, we get lands and guilds and tournaments, and it becomes like guild wars happening. Okay, we're going to see the floor heroes be $1,500, like $3,000, like Axie Infinity was. Like that. So right now they're what? They're like $8, $6, $7, $8, which is nuts. So on a low side, we'll at least see the floor. If the game is just halfway successful, we're going to have a low side because there's going to be too much demand for the heroes. If the game's good and it's working and it's functioning and it's a working, awesome, fun game to play, or if it's just a decently fun game to play, working, and that's going to be phenomenal with their own blockchain. where, again, another thing he said too in the AMA was, if another game wants to come and build their game on this platform, which is what Gala Games does, which is what Veracity does, and other gaming platforms out there. They're platforms for other games to build upon. This is the same thing. That's another, it's so phenomenal. And they're going to have the support of the DFK team and community potentially, and even potentially combine the games. That's a lot of incentive for a gamer to come on, or for a game developing company or developers to come and develop games within this game. So that's another thing. So things like Fight Club, it produces demand to play. Okay. So when we start having tournaments with hundreds of people playing because it's so fun and it's so awesome to play, and then we go to thousands of people wanting to jump in the tournament. Okay. And there we get back to where we used to be at around 1,000. I don't know how many active wallets there was, but there was like 1,000 people that were at least like 100,000 people that were in the gardens. Different wallets that were in the gardens. Now, probably a large percentage of that, they didn't own any heroes. That's how a lot of us started. Another thing is that if this is a little debate, hey, speaking of debate, little debate that I got into with Rock was that I think it's a no-brainer to try to get, now they can get Jewel in on things like Coinbase and Binance, which they've already talked to about. Okay, no-brainer in my mind, big time. And that doesn't affect the in-game utility and stuff. And that will bring potentially millions of people attention into the game who can buy their Jewel, and then if they look into it, then they can see this ecosystem happening as people investigate, because all the tokens that are on Coinbase or Binance, like Coinbase, you just go on there and you can like go to the website and do all your research in on a token. And they do little giveaways and stuff for the tokens and stuff. So that could potentially bring tons of people. But one of the biggest things, okay, last thing I'm going to share. One of the biggest things, one of the big reasons why I've done this YouTube channel and stuff, just believing in Frisky and those guys, is I had talked a lot with Frisky about being like a PR guy, because for the messaging, I think that would be phenomenal. And I just envision myself moderating the AMAs, okay, and help leading through that process a little stronger, and also doing daily videos with Alpha, All Things DeFi Kingdoms, that helps just be a resource. And that's where I think Rock is going to become just such a Zipper level, Mr. Zipper level resource, which I want to get Mr. Zipper on as well. Okay, who's just like a know-it-all encyclopedia of all things DeFi Kingdoms that the newcomers into the game can come to and get trained up. I'll point you to guilds and different things like this, to just all the resources in the game, and have lots of video series on all kinds of things, alpha, news, all things DeFi Kingdoms, different, playlists of different things for beginners, Okay. Also, to be a guy, PR guy that reaches out to guys like I Am George, Crypto Banter, and try and get on their show, like sponsor their show. Maybe if the DFK team would sponsor the show, and even get on the show and talk DeFi Kingdoms. And then tons of the people that left the game will come back once they see a working combat and PvE product. That they'll come back if it's just working decently well. Because we look at all the other games like Axie Infinity, it's not very fun, but it's still like Axie Infinity still has like a huge market cap, like in the billions, right? Pretty sure in the billions is where Axie Infinity is still. Okay, we're talking 17 million is where this is. If they can make this game more fun, okay, and then bringing in more users. Huge. Okay. So that's also, I've been in communication with Frisky for months about that. And somehow, like, if I could unofficially become a part of the team, okay, and I even said in the past that I would do it for free. That was before I lost all my freaking money. But I would do it, probably still do it for free anyways. But it'd be nice to get some lock jewel or something like he's getting, maybe, because I'm going to have to figure something out within 6 months to a year, my financial situation. Okay. And so I think that would just be dynamite, getting new users in, those things there, and keeping them. So there's not this weird skepticism that everyone has about the team. That comes from the messaging. That comes from needing the AMAs to be properly moderated. So that's my 2 cents on that. So when questions are asked and it's a buzz question, like, are you guys going to sell? Right when the hack happened, the AMAs comes and everyone people were asking, are you guys going to sell the game? And Dreamer's response was, and he had like this, he's an attorney, so I always say engineer minded, or attorney minded, like genius, like minded messaging of an answer was horrible, because here's the answer. Boom, right away. No, we're not selling. We're going to keep grinding through the bear market. Boom. I don't care if the coin goes down to 1 penny. We're going to keep grinding. We're going to keep developing, but we are tight with funds. We need to find partners. That's all the answer needed to be. Okay. And so when it comes to messaging, because he answered the way he messaged, it made a lot of people panic sell even more. That was just another example. So that's where they need help. If I would have been bowling on that AMA, I would have just stopped everything. I would have answered that right away and just boom. Let me translate. I mean, 5 seconds into Dreamer talking, I would have interrupted him and just boom. And then let him finish, because that's basically what Dreamer said in the end. Okay. But psychologically, what's said is it created more panic than it needed to. Just like all the FUD and everything that's ever happened with Frisky Fox was all unnecessary. All it took was a better moderator in the AMAs. And all it took was a better PR guy and a community guy, I think, to help with bowling. It's basically what is needed there. And just to get the alpha out, like, I would have been blowing up their phones, get to the bottom of it, get it out fast. Like, you nip that in the butt. But still to this day, there's tens of thousands of people that still think Frisky Fox is a rug pull and stuff. That's messaging that comes from those AMAs and how they're stated. Okay. So I love it. I love it. I love it. I got to go. Even when I'm not in them, I'm still king of the LPs. Yeah. See, I just thought about it today because I needed the money buying Gen Zeros and all this and that, all these summoning a million times and doing the stones and the egg hatching. And I just undid all my liquidity, basically. So I just haven't been in them. So I haven't even thought about it, but it hit me like there's 3 now. Now we got to worry about 3 coins: gold, jewel, and crystal versus just jewel and Serendale. That's why I was making so much more returns, I think. And there just wasn't a whole lot of people doing liquidity back then. So I was just making way more money on my milkweed and stuff and my eggs and all that. Kupo, love you, man. I love Be Easy. Zill. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, if nothing else, Zill, you could still join the Discords. Like, I'm in Diffkey and Helper, and I'm not even using those products, but you could get in those Discords and slowly over time kind of do your research and get to know the developers. Coolio is phenomenal. Fan the man is he's like a phenomenal developer, and you can trust him. Like, so the only risk really you have there is if you accidentally share your private key publicly to like the Discord, which you never would do, but people have done that apparently before, or if someone held them at gunpoint, he said. Like, that's another thing. Like with Rock, he's creating all these different, like an encyclopedia, essentially. So he'll be able to compare the pros and cons of every single bot out there. I love it. And that's what I want to do too. So I'll be able to do that eventually. But he's like more of an encyclopedia. Like he documents things. And okay. Yeah, no one commented about what do you guys think about me kind of sort of casually partnering with Rock doing that. No one made a comment on that. I'm surprised. Okay. I love it. Starbuck kind of did. Okay, definitely do what is best for you. Better than risking getting burned. Yeah, sure. Yeah, he's totally legit. I don't know who you're talking about there. I think he's talking about, I think Zabu, or maybe you're talking about Helper. Yeah, I know Coolio and Zellies are very legit, totally doxed. They're about as legit as it gets. And so is Thanos with Diffkey, for sure. So totally legit. Okay. Our aim in the Mythic Squad vids, I must have missed some comments or something. 3 main topics, 5 minutes each with a max of 18 minutes, the most info retained. I love it, Starbuck. Yes. Could be dangerous. I love it. Yeah. A lot of people put the longer streams in the background. So some people like really long content. I tend to like that more. If I really, really like a show, I hate it when they make them too short. Like make them 5 hours long. Like that's my mindset. But I have more time because I'm always listening to YouTube all day, every day while I'm doing everything that I do, pretty much. Noonie, love you. I love it, baby. Zelf in the house. I love it. Hey, thanks, Kevin. I love it. Operational security. A little bit. I did a little bit. I did a little bit. Like when the day with Frisky Fox, I got a little of this, trim the beard a little bit. Is that Guy in the house, baby? What's the one thing you are most skeptical, bearish about the DFK? Okay. So the risk of Synapse being hacked, probably number one. Because as far as I know, that's the only bridge in. That would be just horrible if that happened. Number two is if they just don't do a good job developing PvP and PvE. And so that like everything kind of hinges on that. That's the biggest risk we face in the game are Black Swan events and the product not being the bomb. So it's one thing to step it in. That's cool. Like if Workhorse is able to release little bits here and there. But if that is a kind of like, remember we were all pumped about duels and then it was like, even though it's cool, it's still utility, good things. You know, it's like it's like a testing process for matchmaking as well. Okay. So if we get an underwhelming product for combat, that will be devastating to the game. So if it's at least okay, we'll be all right, though, because we still have Fight Club. We have other devs developing other things. We have PvE coming, and we always have the potential for them to improve it as well. So a lot of it, I'm wondering, with Workhorse, one of my big questions would be, how are how are you going to bring out combat? Is it going to be like in several stages, and how much will there be like tweaking things along the way? Because obviously it'll probably kind of start as a beta, and like with Fight Club. So he's always making changes because it's new and he's just developed this one guy, like Brad Pitt guy, developing, or maybe two guys or something, I don't know. And so he's always tweaking things. Well, that can be a problem when you're like, oh, I want to buy a bunch of Dark Knights or something but then he nerfs it. Okay. If we have a lot of that can also be a problem. And so, but we always want him to be able to improve, always better. Like that's a core value, always better, always improving. And that is how they are. They're always improving. They're always trying to make things better. Always. That's how the team is. Those are our two biggest risks. I guess there's an outside chance that there's not much I'm bearish on with the project, honestly, though. It's by far, I'm more bullish on this than any other project in this class of projects that I've ever seen in all of crypto. Honestly, that's why I'm doing the channel on DeFi Kingdoms. Otherwise, I could pick something else to do a channel about, like fantasy football. I watch these fantasy footballers. Some of them get like hundreds of thousands of views. I'm just like, damn. But I just feel like this could be a very much potential 1000x plus 10,000x type coin that we've seen from time to time. There's some of them out there. It happens. This is why I'm here in this community. Then if it turns out being a success and a winner, which are so few in crypto, just think of where we'll be in 2 years, like 3 years. It'll be phenomenal. Okay. We can do things like Rock also does Twitch, and a lot of gaming streamers do Twitch. Okay. And you can like pay a $5 fee a month, $5 per month to like subscribe to different people's channel on Twitch, like gamers and different things, and talk strategy and stuff like that with the Twitch guys. Okay. So imagine having hundreds of thousands of people doing that. That's why I'm putting in the time and the effort into the channel, which was asked by, was it Sergeant Filthy McNasty? And I don't even know if I got all the way to that point, but obviously I want to help and be a blessing to the community and the project. That's because I believe in the project and I believe in the game and what they're doing. And it's just phenomenal on every single level. It checks every single checkbox on things you want to look at on potential successful crypto projects, unlike anything I've ever seen. Now, one thing Rock did correct me on was with Sandbox, they also at least used to, or maybe still do, have a really awesome community where they actually have a team member doing the very thing I envision myself doing, where like a member of the Sandbox team does a daily video every day, stuff like that. That's exactly how I envision myself. Okay. Hope that answered that, Guy Kid. As far as skeptical, I don't have much skepticism anymore at all about the team whatsoever. Zero. So I'm open though, because like Fan the Man, for example, has been trying to sound the alarm bells, which something just seems off with me about him on it. Something doesn't add up, like something's off. So I don't know how I could the only way I could be any more bullish on the team than I already am is if I got to know them in their personal lives, got to know them better, and I picked up on things that seemed off. Like they're in it to be scams and for money and whatever. And they don't actually follow those golden rules or the core values that I think they do. Okay, this keeps going way too long. Yes, the Gen 1 10 out of 10's floor has dropped big time because of saturation. You're right. So I'm holding them for dark summoning, baby. So yeah, I'm less enthused to summon because I don't want to just keep spending a ton of money, even with my Gen Zeros. I'd rather rent them out. Well, the renting price has gone down. So then I just kind of go back to, well, I might as well summon them because for dark summoning. Yeah, lack of demand for stones could be, is because we've gotten such an influx of heroes. So the dark summoning is the key to fixing that, but really getting more people in the game. That's the number one thing. Yeah. Oh yeah, DFK Quester is another one that doesn't require your private keys or anything. So and they have made it easier to do multiple quests on one transaction and all that. It's kind of similar to the DFK Quester thing. Okay. I love you guys. It really boggles my mind how DFK team didn't develop something like Quester from the start. Imagine the retention we would still have. Okay, so that's Thanos's. That's one of his big big criticisms of the team. Okay, so maybe there's some credence to that. I think most people left when all the FUD happened. So that's when we clearly saw a departure from the game, and you had George, I am George. He literally said he didn't think the game would succeed on his channel. That's when we saw a massive exodus from the game. And then with the Harmony Bridge hack, that was another, probably a lot more people also left at that point. But there was already most of the people left when all the FUD hit. And I'm talking like 40, 50, 60, 70,000 people left the game at that point. So had those things not happened, they would have been able to function a lot differently. But with especially the Harmony hack and Luna, all these different things happened, and it just caused them, they've had to like take 3 steps backwards for a little bit before they could take any steps forwards. And we're just now to parity. We don't even actually have full parity yet. You know why? Because we don't have contests yet. That was my favorite part of the game. So like we're not even all the way back to where we started before the Harmony hack happened. Okay. But it's coming. It's coming. So believe me, like, okay, so Animal Farm, for example, if you guys know Forex Shark and Animal Farm, Forex Shark's another dev that I just love. Okay. And I'm not super into Animal Farm, but I have a decent amount of change in there in Animal Farm. Well, last March, we're talking last March. This is October. It was March the 6th or 5th. Okay. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're talking over 7 months. 7 months just to get essentially the same thing he had before going. 7 months. We used to be able to be an Animal Farm just fine. 7 months later, he finally developed this thing brilliantly, by the way, to be a better sustainable model. Because on what he had before, he found that there was kind of an ability for sort of like the mining hack. I mean, the mining exploit. There was a way to exploit his DEX, his protocol. Same thing, very similar. Okay. There is a little exploit he found. It literally took him 7 months to replace that. And he's one of the best devs that I know in the space. He's brilliant because he's trying to make a long-lasting ecosystem, not just a DEX. It's a gaming thing. It's okay. And I could do a video on that. It's a little bit of a crazy ecosystem, but it's more of a degenerate degen. If you're a degenerate degen, but I just like Forex Shark. So that's what I'm used to, being in the crypto space, people. That's what I'm used to. They literally fixed the mining exploit. They thought it would be harder. They thought it would be more of a headache. And at first it wasn't a big deal at all. It was like real super minor. But then when it became a lot more of a serious issue, they thought that it would be down for like weeks, potentially mining would be. Okay, it was down for like 2 days. They got it fixed. They figure out a way to fix it. It was awesome. The team's fast. You guys, Cardano, 5 years, wallet. 5 years, wallet. Wallet, connect with DEX. 5 years, wallet, connect with DEX. Ethereum, 2017. We're going to have ETH 2.0 by 2018, by 2019, by 2020. Okay, this team, we're just impatient. This team develops faster than anything I've seen in the crypto space. So, okay, you just got to get used to it. I didn't bitch one time when my funds were literally tied up in the animal farm for like 4 months. Then at least finally we could get them out. Like crazy. I had a ton of Bitcoin and stuff in there and, making on their farms, earning pigs and dogs and all that stuff. Okay. All right. Love you guys. I need to wrap up. Link in the house, baby. Yes, the team's phenomenal. Markets are down. There's negativity. Yeah. So the negativity just gets to our brain, man. It gets us, it like wears you down. The bear market wears on your soul. It's hard to stay positive and bullish unless you've been through it. I've been through it already. And it seemed like years upon years upon years went by, but it was only like 2 years. And then all of a sudden, what was it, 2020 or 2021? Yeah, 2021 hits. And I'm just like, I got to the point to where I gave up on it. Fortunately, didn't sell much. I just left it all there. I had it all over the place. And all of a sudden, Bitcoin, what? It's at 20 grand? Out of the blue. Next thing I know, it's at 30 grand, 40 grand, 43 grand, back down to 30 grand, all the way up to 65 grand. Like it just happened so fast. But I got to where it just killed me so bad to where I couldn't even look at it anymore. But had I been grinding through all that time and buying, paying attention, I would have made multiple millions of dollars. That's what we're doing now, baby. That's what we're doing now. And we might still have another year or two of this. So it's how you'll be rewarded if it succeeds. To make 1,000x, this is how people make 1,000x. It's always easy to look 50-50. Hindsight's always 20-20, 50-50. Hindsight's always 20-20. And I coulda, woulda, shoulda, coulda, woulda, shouldas all day long. We're going to have a zillion people come crying back into the game saying, if only I would have stayed with it. If only I could have made. You know how many people say, I could have made millions of dollars in Bitcoin back in 2013 and da-da-da-da-da-da. You know how many people say that? Like millions of people literally say that. I could have made millions in Bitcoin. My buddy wanted me to get into it. Da, 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 da. Like, you know how many people have stories? But they didn't. They didn't make it. They didn't make the money. They sold it. They did whatever. Okay, that's what the bear market does to you. $1 into Bitcoin. Okay, when it first came out, when it for 1 penny got you 4 Bitcoin, $1. $1 of that you would have is now worth like over $50 million. How does that happen? How does that happen? It's by changing your mindset through a bear market and having a totally different approach to where you stay with it, you hang in there, and you have a long-term vision. And you look for buzzwords, things with teams, like Sunbear said on Adventures in DFK's channel when he said, we're like family now. Because they've gone through so much together. And they keep grinding, and they keep making partnerships. These are all the things you look for in successful crypto projects. But instead, we have a bunch of people that don't know what they're talking about. They're new to crypto. They don't get it. Okay. And they spread FUD about the team and the project and the speed, and they're too slow and da 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 da. They don't get it. Okay. Just go. Welcome to go look for other crypto projects. And guess what? You're going to find out that DFK is the bomb. Mark my words. Mark my words. You newbies into crypto out there. Okay. You're going to go get pissed off at DFK, and maybe you just give up on crypto altogether. You're going to be the guy, just like everyone else was in this last bull run when Bitcoin went up to 65,000. Okay. And Ethereum went up to almost 5,000. I coulda, woulda, shoulda, coulda, woulda. I coulda, woulda, coulda made tons of money. Everyone always says that. Okay, and that's what's going to happen with tons of people with this game. As long as there's not some black swan event or, something happens that's just, that in my mind at this point, very low risk of anything like that happening. The worst risk we face is Synapse bridge hack, in my mind. So low risk that they're going to put out a crappy product. Low risk that the team's just going to flake out on us. Don't think it's happening. Okay. Yes, that's right. That's right. I love you. Yeah, good stream with Rock today. Thanks, Jakamash. I love it. Good stuff, man. What do you guys think? Still no comments about me and Rock teaming up. Maybe people aren't feeling it. That's okay if you're not feeling it. And not when I say team up, we're talking like real loosey. It's not like we're gonna combine all in. We'll just like stick our toe in and think about it, and see where it goes. Okay. I love it. Fishy foods. Yes. Blackwing. I love you. Sticking it out through the bear markets. That's right. A lot of DFK streamers are long gone. So true. And that's because, like, when you lose all your money and I couldn't get out of bed for 3 months. I can't even believe I started this channel in the first place, honestly. It was like I was beckoned to it because the team and Frisky is so awesome. I couldn't help myself but to just get on here and talk DeFi Kingdoms, baby. From being in all the projects that I've ever been in and been through all the crap that I've been through in crypto, I couldn't help myself but to start a channel for DeFi Kingdoms. That's where it's at. Far beyond and ahead. Yes. Way ahead of all the other DeFi games. The foundation is very strong. Like it's phenomenal and it's brilliant and it's consistent. It's steady. We're not relying like with all these other games out there, like League of Legends, or we're just relying on devs to randomly come up with random stuff, to randomly create new heroes out of the blue, to randomly create their powers that they have and who wins in the battle. There's no consistency or stability behind it. It's purely based off the skill of the devs, which they've obviously done one of the best ever of all time, League of Legends. Phenomenal. Their music and their videos and all this and that. phenomenal marketing, but they don't have the foundation that this has. Seriously, you could develop this game into League of Legends on steroids, and it would be a lot more solidified with a concrete foundation in it. That's the potential upside. I love it. I'll never forget the moment when Grady's first video back was recorded in my feed. Learned of Waifu bots. Yeah, and Grady's passion. And thank you, man. I love it. Got serious info DFK, and the rest is history. Love you. Love you too. And so I want to keep that going. That's the team with me and Rock. If we get team, we'll make it freaking awesome and be more structured and have like short videos, consistent. And then also still have the long ones too, but have like consistent videos at the same time every day about, okay. Yes, Zill, best thing about DFK is the community, 100%. I love it. I love you guys. Thank you, Zabu. Potatoes. Got to get you back on the show, baby. Love you. Thanos is salty. Yeah, they didn't love his code. Team is the best in the industry, and the community is like nothing I've ever seen. So expound on that. The team didn't like his code with Thanos. Did they not like something in his code? Because he's a pretty brilliant developer. I couldn't imagine that the team didn't like his code. I feel like there's something else behind that. I love you, Link. Vibe is. Okay, dark summoning is where you summon a hero and the mom and dad die. It's okay, but the benefits that you get in the new hero that you're summoning are apparently going to be worth having mom and dad die out of existence. That's dark summoning. So there must be mega benefits and mega potential and mega upside for the dark summoning to be worth it. So we're going to want heroes. And they said things like rarity. I don't know about level. Also got to be careful. Like you want to not be doing that with like heroes with advanced and elite abilities. Probably not. But rarity and class and things like that all come into play. Maybe level. Okay. So if you're like doing that with two mythic heroes, obviously the potential, and they're both going to die out of existence, you better be getting something worth a lot. Versus just doing it with two common heroes, it's not gonna be as much upside. Okay. Yeah, grateful that DFK still has a fighting chance. I'm grateful, couldn't agree more. Grateful that we still have a fighting chance given the SHIT they've been through. We're lucky it didn't completely die. Very lucky that DFK did not die. Very, very lucky. Most other devs would have died off. The project's gone. It's a goner. Jordy is the bomb. Love you. Yeah. Sold at 4x name IMO. Tried a course on coding. So Rock was wanting to do something like to help new developers come in the game and have like a coding course 1 hour a day, every day. That was something he talked about. Getting going on Twitch and different things. We talked about all kinds of things. Dropping the mic, baby. Love you. Love you. Vibe is. Love you guys. Yeah, hope you're practicing proper risk management. I'm buying ETH as my DFK hedge. Yep. And Bitcoin is even, I think at this point, ETH is very, very, very low risk. Like now that ETH 2.0 is out, like what risk? That was the biggest risk. If that could have been a calamity. That could have been like a complete crypto calamity, but it went like perfectly. We didn't even realize what happened. So that was awesome. So I look at ETH is close to, it took another step on. So Bitcoin is like your safest by a mile. Okay. It has no risk, no reliance on a team to develop. It's your hedge. It's your gold. Digital gold is Bitcoin. Okay. Obviously, though, less upside, but still mountains of upside with Bitcoin. Like we will have $1 million Bitcoin at some point. It's coming. All the leverage trading and things stop that from happening. But Ethereum now is on a whole nother level. And it's getting closer to where we still rely on the team. Like if Vitalik Buterin died on a plane crash, it's probably still fine though at this point. Even if Vitalik Buterin died on a plane crash. So we're not relying on a human being as much, but we still are. It's not yet fully decentralized, even close, really. Compared to Bitcoin is like fully decentralized, essentially. So almost no risk with Bitcoin. You're risk-free practically. Like the worst case scenario, what's it going to do? Go down to 10 grand or something? I don't even think that's going to happen. But I guess that could go down to 8, 9, 10 grand. Like that's the absolute worst case scenario you're going to face with Bitcoin. Ethereum, I guess something bad could happen where the whole thing could crash, I guess. But not much chance there. Okay. My portfolio is 50% DFK coins and 50% ETH. Wow. Okay. I like it. Vibis. I would say Bitcoin, I would go 25% ETH, 25 Bitcoin, and then 50% DFK coins if you're going to go that route. But that would just be me. But ETH, second safest coin by far. Okay. I play poker for a living. Link, really? I used to be a semi-pro full-time poker player. I played it for a living myself for a couple years, all day, every day, 12 hours a day. It was nuts, manic style, like freak. The same thing gamblers complain about at the poker tables. Yes, it's so right. You're so right. It sounds similar to crypto investors. Everybody blames somebody else for their losses. And they always think that they're cursed. So poker players that like have problems, like addictive type personality, which I actually don't feel like I have much of, believe it or not. I'm more logical. So they always think they're cursed or something, and they're superstitious and weird things. Yeah. The ones that aren't good at poker. Okay. They're easy to read. At the table, anyways. Online's a totally different animal. Team up. Try a stream a week as a collaborative effort. Yes. Better yet, both of you should team up with Mythic Squad for 30-minute show a week. Hey, you've already got us done there. Done. We're already family with Mythic Squad, baby. I want to get you guys on and talk more about it. Need more Grady X Mythic Squad videos. Yes. Trans and Elite ability summoning videos are so dope. Thank you, man. I know Grady has a couple hundred heroes he needs to summon. I will summon for the event thing for the Gen Zero giveaway. Long on ETH would save him. Still exposed to crypto and regulation. Seriously looking at S&P 500, 10% dips would be cute after crypto. S&P is down a lot, man, this year. Love you guys. I love it, Starbuck. Franklin E-Waste just liquidated 95% of my ETH for blue chip Solana NFTs. Interesting, Franklin E-Waste. Actually feel good about my move. Bold, but not confident in ETH right now at all. Yeah, so ETH did pump a lot. Like we saw it go down to like 800 all the way up to 2,000. I don't know. So in that same time period, we saw Bitcoin go down to about 17.5 all the way up to 24-ish, 24.5. So like Ethereum more than double. Then we saw it kind of fall off pretty hard after the ETH 2.0 merge or whatever, it did kind of crash back down, which is weird. It's just traders in the market. That's what we get in crypto, especially when it's on leverage. So I'm anti-leverage as it gets on everything leverage. I hate leverage. It's what destroys the whole ecosystem. What are you going to do if DFK price doesn't recover? I don't know. Gonna have to figure something out. It's so weird. Like, I thought I'd be doing this for the rest of my life and just live off crypto and crypto gains, and then lost it all. Sold my businesses, lost it all. It's like, so I'm still not in the right headspace to even try and go get a job. Like, that's how bad it is up here. Okay. Like, even just to go to the store is just to get out of the house is hard for me. To talk to people, to go out, to do anything. Yeah, S&P is definitely safe. Yeah. Yep. I only own Jewel and Crystal and crypto. I love it, Link. If DFK doesn't come back, we're hit, obviously, but I think there's a very small chance that doesn't happen. Once tokens start moving, everybody will be back. That's right. And I think once PVP comes out and is solid, everything's going to be solid with DFK. So even if in the bear market, we can still see it pump like crazy when there's actual real world demand. Okay, there has to be a product to get that kind of demand. Okay. I love it. Mining is dead, but self-staking isn't dead. That's kind of true. Mining is kind of dead. I'm trying to save 16 ETH to run a rocket pool node. That's cool. All the hardcore DFK degens are here. That's right, man. Didn't know that. So happy you have a DFK community that loves you. Oh yeah, Franklin, man, I got destroyed. Wish you luck. Feel the same for ETH short term, unfortunately. Yeah, so ETH, I would be careful. I'm not sure about ETH in the short term, or even Bitcoin for that. But I think Bitcoin is going to be not potentially hit as hard. Like, we could, even though ETH long term, I'm way more bullish on, than Bitcoin as far as its upside, because it's deflationary, like mega time, crazy amounts of ETH being burned, like crazy amount of ETH being burned. But there's easily room for ETH to crash down to the $500, $600 range from where it is now. Whereas Bitcoin, I can't imagine that even getting to 10 grand or 12 grand. Like, but it's possible. Anything's possible, I guess. Like, especially if, World War III breaks out, or something. So but as long as World War III doesn't break out and something just insane, I don't see it having a chance of even hitting 10 grand for Bitcoin. Probably the low would be like 14. Okay, whereas Ethereum like actually could go down to like $400 or $500, I would say. So that's where I would say I'm still super bullish on Ethereum, though. I mean, I'm not selling mine. I've got plenty in the pools of DeFi Kingdoms. Okay. Yeah. DeFi is the future, self-governance for dummies, but it's just not working. So we got to have DeFi and self-governance actually work. And that's going to take decades. It's just not working. It doesn't work. We got too many bad actors in the space. We got too many hacks. You can't actually have DeFi at this point, except with Bitcoin. That's the only thing that's actually fully decentralized. It's not where everything DeFi will fail, like until we can figure out a lot of stuff to actually truly be DeFi, to truly be decentralized. It just isn't working even close. It's like disaster central. I'm the most anti-bank, anti-government. It's all corrupt. Like, you don't want to get me started on that. But DeFi is a solution, destroys us. And I've learned that now through Luna, through all kinds of other protocols out there as well, that mostly always just go to zero. Most of crypto just always goes to zero because unforeseen things happen, and it doesn't work. And so then we're stuck relying on people again. And so it's the best teams and the best people that win. But it's always risky. The reason why Binance is because CZ. I bought Binance at 79 cents, baby. That's when I first got in. Okay. Yeah, I got link. If I don't respond to Discord, send it. I'll get to you eventually. I got to go. Cash in hand is number one. Good point. Having lots of cash on the side as well. Yes. And just dollar cost averaging in. Bitcoin's number two. Blue chip, proven teams, NFTs, ETH, Solana. Solana's good. I get a little bit nervous with Solana because I don't trust the team as much. I don't trust, like FTX is awesome, but I don't trust, what's his name? Sam Bankman-Fried. Something's off. I just don't trust him. He's so big, and I don't know. I don't trust the core values. There was so much money raised. There is so much money in that thing, but I'm definitely bullish on Solana. So don't get me wrong. I love Chainlink long term. So I trust Binance. I trust CZ. So I don't trust Solana. I love Avalanche, but I don't even know how much I trust them. But I love Avalanche for sure. Bullish on Avalanche, bullish on Solana. And I trust Cosmos. So the Cosmos ecosystem and everything that Cosmos can do is everything everyone wishes of being able to do. They can already do it, and they're battle tested. They've never had problems. Cosmos is phenomenal. So Cosmos is where it's at. So I would say Binance because I trust CZ. Well, what if CZ dies? I think he's got it kind of to where he's even trying to make it more decentralized and things. But I don't know what would happen if CZ died. So I think he's got all of that in line at this point. But he might need a few more years to really get that panned out. So if CZ wants to retire, whatever he does, though, will be the bomb. That's what you can take it to the bank. It'll be the best. It'll be phenomenal. Cosmos, phenomenal. And I trust the Cosmos remaining team that's there, not the guy that originally helped start the whole thing. Don't trust that guy. The reason why he's gone, he wanted to make it a money grab. LNR. What is LNR again? Yeah. Cosmos bomb. Yeah, no, Cosmos expansion coming. Put it to the bank, baby. Did Frisky say anything about that? I'm trying to remember. I dropped a hint. Someone else dropped a hint about potentially DFK, one of their realms on Cosmos. Yes. So Binance Smart Chain, they already kind of said there isn't an easy way to lower the gas fees on the Binance Smart Chain. So I don't think that's going to work. But they love the Binance Smart Chain, obviously. So Cosmos will have they'll create a compatibility with the DFK chain and Avalanche. You watch. It's already in the works, I think. I don't follow as much now because I'm all DFK. So, okay. Yeah, like Kepler Wallet, Cosmos could do videos on that. Binance.us or Binance, best exchanges for everything. Best exchanges I have so many people asking all the time. Like I've even had people asking like if they could trade because they can't get money into the game and stuff. Like Ramp charges you fees. Binance Smart Chain, Binance.us, you connect it with your bank. Boom, no fees. You buy the BUSD, no fees. You send the BUSD, no fees to the Binance Smart Chain. Synapse, little bit of fees to convert the BUSD into USDC. They'll bridge it right into the DFK chain. That's your best way to do it. Like, phenomenal. How would I throw the whole bank at Cosmos? DFK, imagine the DeFi DEX and IBC. Yes, IBC compatible. There's so many more breakthroughs that they keep doing. They are the best, like full-blown. They were like the Luna ecosystem was doing twice as many transactions as Ethereum and Bitcoin blockchains combined. Okay. And you never had a single hiccup, hardly. Everything always works perfectly on Cosmos. Everything Cosmos always works perfectly. It's a dream come true. What happened was the original founder said, there's no need to have the Cosmos coin. You don't need the Cosmos coin. Okay. Is what he said. Like, idiot. So he wanted to make it like more mandatory. And I don't blame him actually to like create more need for Cosmos coin. But the way the current developers did instead is they did it like like when you create a chain on Cosmos, you don't have to use the Cosmos coin, I guess. So that was like the big hang up. But there is so much need and use case for the Cosmos coin, as much as any other coin. More than Solana, you need Cosmos. More than you need Solana, I can tell you, for real. Solana, all you really need it for is for the little tiny itty bitty gas fees. Tiny itty bitty little gas fees. So, but there's still plenty of you. I'm very bullish on Solana. It's an awesome their whole technology is really interesting. But okay, with Cosmos, there's so many different things you need the coin for, all throughout their whole ecosystem for so many different reasons, aside from gas fees on their blockchain and for all the governance. And it's, staking. It's tied up for 21 days, just like Luna was. Okay. It's the bomb. Cosmos is the bomb. You need the coin as much as anyone needs any coin in the entire crypto ecosystem. That's just false. When someone says you don't really need the coin, well, okay, what do you need Uniswap for? What do you need Aave for? It has more use case than any of those, including Solana. Now, the way Avalanche has done their gig is you got to have a lot of Avalanche to create a subnet and different things. Love it. Just a different model, but similar. Okay. Yeah, the Luna blockchain never cracked. It was nuts too. Yeah, Algorand's interesting. Yeah, the algo caused the crash, right? And it was attacked. Listen, Do Kwon got arrogant, and he was very arrogant. And he was basically, for the first time, the traditional banking system, for the first time in the history of this world, like since banks have been out for however many couple centuries, have the banks ever been threatened? until Luna. So you actually had debit cards in South Korea. You could completely bypass the banks. Decentralized banking at its finest has been destroyed. That's what Luna was. And so the banks realized that literally when it went from 1 billion in the microcap of UST, in the market cap of UST, to 20 billion in 3 months or less, 1 month, $20 billion market cap of UST in like 1 to 3 months. Trying to remember the timeline. Okay. The banks were threatened. And it was a sustainable protocol. Okay. They just needed more assets for lending, which they had just added. Cosmos and Solana was just added to their platform for lending. The more coins they got, that's how it generated revenue to pay out the interest. That's, people just don't get it. It drives me nuts. Okay, Crypto Grady out. I love all of you guys. I love you guys. Love you guys. Unbelievable 2 hours. Unbelievable. I love you guys.